Hey, thanks for taking some time out of your day to join me here and learn a little bit more about what it is that I do as a lifestyle mentor. Ultimately, that's what I call myself, is a mentor, and I am a health and fitness ambassador because I am not a trained personal trainer. I am not a nutritionist, but I am just here sharing my journey and sharing what it is that I love about being a mentor. So, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story about me, and then I'll tell you a little bit about what it is that I do every day. So, I started working out way back in my teenage years. I went through life, and as I think a lot of us do, just doing what you do as a teenager, and just working out because it's cool or whatever. I played sports. I played a lot of sports in high school. I did a lot of baseball and then rugby. And then after high school ended, I sort of stopped that, and my 20s hit, and I started dating my husband actually. And then I had some weight gain because you get comfy, and then we started doing married life, so I lost a bunch of weight. We got married. I have ups and downs, and I've tried all kinds of things out there for weight loss because I've always felt that I've been a little bit on the heavier side. So if you have heard of it, I have tried it probably. And that is just, I think, the way that a lot of women have lived their lives that I've encountered, anyways, along the way. I am a mom of two, so I have a 2.5-year-old and an almost 6-year-old. I'm a wife, like I said. I am also a registered interior designer, and I live in the Lower Mainland. So that's a bit about what I do on the daily. And I am a super busy stay-at-home mom. I started coaching and started using Beachbody products about a year and a half ago, May 2017. And this was after my coach had reached out to me about 7 times, if not more. Was a year postpartum with my daughter, and it took me a long time to really kind of come around and be like, okay, I'm going to do this, because my mindset, postpartum isn't always the greatest. And for me, we had some big changes in our lives. We had moved cities. We were in the interior, and then we moved back down to the Lower Mainland. And when we moved down here, our plan was that I was going to go back to work as an interior designer. So I put the wheels in motion with a girlfriend, and we were going to start up a company. And that was all well and good. We did a lot of time and we invested a lot of energy into starting that company. However, when we got to the end of that business plan, which we paid a ton of money for, we both realized that we just weren't ready and at the right time in our lives to invest in something like that. So my heart wasn't in it, and hers wasn't either, because of this big investment, and we just weren't in the right places in our lives. So I was kind of dwindling at that point, and I was just like, I don't know what I'm going to do. But my husband was kind of putting the pressure on me. I feel he'll beg to differ, to get a job and to work and to do the interior design work that I'm trained to do. I'm a registered interior designer, so I have spent a lot of time in the design world, and I put a lot of hours and effort into that. But I just couldn't fathom doing that any longer, because my husband works really long hours. He's in the construction industry as well, and he's a superintendent, so he is building big buildings and he's doing big things with his career. And while I'm at home with the kids, and I am basically pick up all the pieces and do all the things at the house, and I take the kids here and there, and I take them to all their activities, and he is here, but he's here on the weekend, and he's here late at night most of the time. So and he helps when he can, but it's not always, not a lot of the stuff at home, in home life, falls on his shoulders. So he's our main provider, and he always sort of has been in our relationship. So when I was at that point where this design business was sort of floundering, and I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to do, because I just don't see how I can go to work for somebody. I don't see how I can leave the house and do all the things and have the kids in childcare and then come home and do all the things, because it will ultimately all fall on me as the mom and the homemaker. because my husband seriously doesn't have any more time to fit into his day to do all the things that I do. So yes, we could hire a nanny. Yes, we could do this. Yes, we could do that. But I also felt in my heart at that time that and I still do, that I want to be home and be the one raising our kids if we're going to put the money out for childcare and that sort of thing. I would just rather not do it. So fast forward to about January of this year, and 80 Day Obsession was released, which is a huge program in Beachbody's history. And I just decided on a whim. We came home from Christmas holidays and I was like, okay, I'm going to do this program. Like, I just ordered the pack, and I had already been a Beachbody ambassador, but I was doing all the things, I was working out, but I wasn't fully invested. I signed up. When I signed up back in May, I signed up as a discount coach. I had no intentions ever of working in this industry. I even told my coach, like, no, right from the get-go, I have no plans. I'm working on this interior design business. This is going to be my life. So it's a no, but thank you very much. I'll take the discount. So I even, started Shakeology, and then I said no to that. And then I went back to the other shakes that I had been taking and had been trying and using them for a while and having success with them, but never really loving them. I mean, I loved the flavor, but I just knew that they weren't working for me. So in January, I was like, you know what? I was having a conversation with a girlfriend who is also an interior designer, and I was like, this is not working for me. This is not going to go any further. I just don't know what to do. Like, maybe I should just go work at Starbucks or McDonald's or something. And she was just like, hold on, wait a minute. Like, what are you talking about? You are already doing the things that a coach does. Like, what does a coach do? And I said, they work out daily. They work on their personal development. They show others and share their journey. They invite people to do it with them. And I was actually talking to her about it. So she's like, I don't understand why you don't take this opportunity and just run with it and start doing it. You don't have to invest more than I already had invested, because I had already invested what I needed to grow this business, to start this business. And it was kind of my aha moment. And I was like, okay, maybe I should do this. And so I talked to my husband about it, and he really wasn't on board. He was not on board, and it took up to almost this point in my coaching career, let's call it, for him to even be remotely close to accepting that this is what I want to do, and this is how I think I'm going to earn it, or this is how I'm going to earn an income for our family. So backtrack to that time, I was like, okay, I really want to do this. What do you think? And he was like, no, I want you to do the work that you know how to do. So I was kind of at a crossroads, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do both. So currently I do some design work. I'm working on a custom home. I fit that in, as well as I fit this coaching life into pockets of time. I don't have an hour to sit down every day to do the work that I want to do, because you can really build this business in an hour a day, but I don't have that hour all the time grouped in one sitting. So I do 10 minutes here, I do 15 minutes there, and I do it in pockets of time. And for me, that is not ideal. Like, it's not the ideal way to work. However, that's the way that it has to be if I want to do all these other things. So I do my interior design work, I do my fitness business in pockets of time, and I also have a little knitting business that I absolutely love and adore, and it's sort of my self-care, if you will. I sit and knit at night, and I just kind of relax, and then I sell these wonderful little toques that I absolutely love. So that also keeps me very busy, especially during the winter. So that's a bit about like where I'm at with my coaching story and how you can fit it into your life. And as far as income, I sort of know that the sky is the limit with this business, and it's whatever you want to put into it, I believe that you will get out of it. I have listened to so many of my mentors in this industry share their stories and share how they've grown from year 1 to year 2 to year 3 to year 5, how they have retired their husbands from their jobs and they work as a coach, and they sort of do it as a family business, 3 to 5 years into investing in this business. So that is where I plan to take my business. I plan to eventually, hopefully, this is my plan, this is my goal, is to retire my husband from working so hard at the job that he does, because he has always worked so hard for our family. I would love to meet and exceed his current pay, and then be the income earner for the family so that he can spend some much needed time with our family. So that is actually my ultimate goal, and one of the main reasons why I do the things that I do every day. I absolutely love this coaching life. It has changed me in ways that I have never imagined and could never imagine that it would have. I was very let's say angry, and I still have a hard time keeping my emotions in check. But with this coaching, with the vital behaviors that we do every day, part of that is personal development. And for me, thinking I don't need any help. I was angry and I look back now and I think I had postpartum depression, and I was very angry, and it came out that way. And I was resentful and upset that my husband got to leave the house all the time. And I stayed home with the kids, and it took this job and this, somebody to say, like, you should really listen to this book. You should read this book. It will help you. And so every single day that I listen to personal development, because I listen to it because I don't have time to read, I'm just being honest, I feel and I take on those wonderful things that I hear, and I project them out into the universe, and I share them with others. And I've had so many people say that they love my positivity now, and they can feel the energy shift in my life. And so that for me is just a big win in what this has also done for me the past 7 months. It's just been crazy shift in my own mindset and the way that I see the world, and the way that I don't live with resentment anymore about my husband. I realize that he is working super hard to support our family, while I am also doing a supportive job at home. And this is eventually one way that gives me something outside of wife and mom to feel fulfilled. I feel fulfilled when I share about what I'm doing, and other people ask what I'm doing, and I, they say, oh, you're so positive, and you're doing so great. And that fulfills me. It also really fulfills me when family and friends and people that I don't know, but that I've met in this community, are losing weight and feeling great about themselves. I have a challenger. I have a couple of friends, challengers that I've met, and have been friends of mine. They've lost 30 pounds. They've lost 40 pounds. They are running marathons. They are doing the things that they love, but they had never had success with before in their lives. Exactly the same as me, always sort of striving for something more, but never being able to keep the weight off or get the weight off at all. So just the fact that I am helping people change their lives is just what I get up in the morning and I feel like, okay, I can do this, and I love doing this. I feel like coaching and being this mentor and being this cheerleader is the ultimate goal, and I'm so thankful that my coach asked me and suggested to me that I just take a gamble on this coaching gig. So thanks so much for sharing, and for listening, and for just for being here. And I hope that gives you a little bit of insight into what it's like to be a coach, and it maybe fires something up inside of you to share what you're doing and share with others, because ultimately I just want you to feel great, and I want you to earn an income. Maybe you want to support your family, maybe you want to do this as a side gig, or you want to work full time, but it's just I can't stop smiling today. So thanks again for joining me here. I'll talk to you soon.